Hello, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you who are joining us for this webinar. I want to just start by saying thank you for joining us. I know you had you had a choice as to where you could spend your time this afternoon, but you chose it to be here with us. Now, very briefly, what I want to do is I want to share my screen, and I'm going to be telling you about an amazing product that I have been working with for the last 12 months. We're going to be talking to you about how this product can help people. I know we've got a lot of natural therapists on the line. We've got some chiropractors, physios, osteopaths, people like me who are nutritional therapists, and we're also going to be joined in a little while by Julie Klein, who is a chiropractor who's going to share her experience on it. What I want to say very briefly is we've muted everybody out, so if this is your first time with Zoom, if you have any questions, write them down. When we finish the recording, we will give everybody an opportunity to ask those questions and get those answered for you. But very briefly, I want to introduce myself before I do dive in. My name is Lara Zimmerman. I'm originally Irish, but I live in southwest London with my husband and my 3 children. My background has been in traditional business. The last 15 years working in health and well-being. I ran a yoga business for 8 years and loved that. Worked with lots of natural therapists, all different backgrounds. And then for the last 7 years, I have been working as a nutritional therapist, working with nutritional products. Now, the reason I partnered LifeVantage, the reason I got so excited by this company was really about the core product that we're going to talk about this evening. So I'm going to dive straight in. And for many of you who've come on this evening, you will have seen, you've been invited to watch an ABC Primetime report. I'm not going to show that to you now. If you haven't seen it, just get back in touch with the person who invited you on today and you will be able to get a recording of that. But why do we always start with that? Well, it was just a really significant broadcast. ABC, which is a primetime news channel in North America, ran a report on the core product Protandim. And the upshot of the report was that the product lowered oxidative stress in the body by an average of 40% within 30 days. In fact, the actual reporter who took part in the report himself, his blood had lowered by 45%, his oxidative stress lowered by 45% in just 14 days. So really, that report sparked a whole host of interest from the world of academia and from the world of science. Within the space of 11 years now, there's now 22 independent published and peer-reviewed studies. They can all be found on PubMed.gov, which is the US's National Library for Medicine. All you need to do is just stick Protandim in the search bar at PubMed.gov, and those research papers will come up. One of the most interesting of studies was released about 3 months ago, and it was a 10-year federally funded study by the National Institute of Aging, and it said that our flagship product, Protandim, was the only natural supplement that they could see would extend life. I'm going to talk about the product in a minute, but they looked at a whole host of natural supplements, and it was the only product that they could see that. The gentleman who developed the product is an amazing guy called Dr. Joe McCord. He's dedicated 30 plus years of his life to the science of free radicals, and he has received a whole host of amazing awards on the back of his work. Now, very briefly, what I want to talk to you about is nutrigenomics. And what is nutrigenomics? It's really the study of how nutrition can really affect our own naturally occurring compounds, our own genes, our own survival genes. So really, before we dive into what Protandim is all about, let's have a quick look at what oxidative stress is about. Oxidative stress is, really the rusting of our body. It's the aging process that takes place in our body. So just like an apple, when you chop it in two and you leave it out in the air for a while, it's going to turn brown. Or like leaving a bicycle in the garden and it's raining, it's going to start to rust. So it's a process of free radicals, and they release around our body, and they change the shape of our cells, and they're what ultimately causes the aging process in our body. Now, Protandim, which is a NRF2 activator, is clinically proven to reduce that oxidative stress by an average of 40% within 30 days. In some cases, it'll reduce it a lot more than that. Now, how do we get oxidative stress? Well, we get it by just being alive, I'm afraid. Even if you're really good, you eat organic, you exercise lots, you're still going to be exposed to it, because every time we breathe or we eat and we convert that energy in our cells, it combusts and releases these little free radicals. And something I would say to you is go to pubmed.gov and put in oxidative stress, and you'll find a couple of 100,000 studies on why oxidative stress is the fundamental reason our bodies age. It's why we develop degenerative conditions of the heart, the skin, the kidneys, all our major organs start, the health in those break down as a result of oxidative stress. Now, you're going to hear from Julie in a little while. She'll talk about some specific examples of people getting great results. But when you look at what oxidative stress does to our body, you'll realize that everybody is going to be wanting to get on this product, not just our clients, but our friends and our family who may well be very healthy already. But explaining what Protandim is all about. You know, I come from a nutritional therapy background. A lot of people automatically jump to the conclusion it's an antioxidant. And I say to people, that's okay. A lot of people do that, but it's not an antioxidant. And that's a really key point. Protandim is a NRF2 activator. So what does it do? It creates a pathway into every single cell in our body, and it upregulates, or it increases the production of a whole host of enzymes. And there's 3 key enzymes there, something called superoxide dismutase. It increases that by 36%. Catalase, it increases by 54%. And glutathione, it increases by 300 to even 900%, okay? And put it in perspective, about 99% of the free radicals in our body can only be neutralized by our own body's enzymes, okay? Not a lot of people know that. So if you take a bowl of blueberries, which many of us eat because we know they have good antioxidant producing qualities, it's probably going to neutralize maybe 7,000 free radicals. 1 molecule of SOD, I just mentioned that SOD, will neutralize 1 million free radicals per second all day, every day. And given Protandim increases your SOD production by 4 to 36%, that is a massive amount of work. That's your own body turning on its survival genes, turning on its own anti-aging enzymes and getting to work. And what does that mean for people? Well, we cannot claim that Protandim cures, prevents, mitigates, or cures any diseases or illnesses, but we know that by lowering the oxidative stress in your body, you're going to lower the inflammation in your body. So I always say anybody with an itis or an otis, if you've got people who have IBS, colitis, arthritis, you know, there's lots of obvious things out there, bursitis, they're going to see a lowering in the inflammation. So I say anybody with aches and pains needs to be on this product. People who aren't sleeping well are going to get an increase of glutathione, so they're going to sleep so much better. People who struggle with mental fatigue or mental fog are going to get so much more focus, and all of us get better energy from this product. I've seen extraordinary changes with people with the likes of fibromyalgia, which as we know is a chronic pain and fatigue condition, within 2 months dropping vast majority of their pain meds and really seeing great results. So when you hear about this, you think, well, who should be on it? What is in it? Very briefly, it's 5 natural ingredients. Most of them you'll have heard. You'll heard of milk thistle, which cleanses our liver and promotes good liver health. Turmeric, which has been banded around a lot over the last maybe 5-10 years as a natural anti-inflammatory. Got green tea, which we know is anti-cancerous, antioxidant, but also boosts the metabolism and helps our body burn fat. Black pepper, which is a natural synergizer and a stress reducer, and then bacopa. This is a white flower that's used in Ayurvedic medicine, and this is actually what creates that regulation of those enzymes. Now, I get some people saying to me, well, I take these. In fact, I have a consultant rheumatologist who I work with who has been taking these products for years, but it's only on Protandim that she has seen that change in her body, because it's actually the synergized blend of those key products. So super exciting product. I always say to people, you know, taking an antioxidant is a bit like throwing a glass of water over a burning house, whereas taking Protandim is like having a fire hose in every single room of the house. So very exciting product, and something that you're going to hear from Julie's perspective in a minute about how she has successfully recommended this to clients and getting results. Now, for those of you who care about aging, not just from the inside but also from the outside, the company have developed a phenomenal range of products called TrueScience. It's a skincare system, and it works from the outside in. It really helps the body turn on its own defense mechanism, mechanism to the environment, to sun damage. And typically people will notice an amazing difference within 30 days of being on that product, and a real difference to their skin. And the rest of our range, well, in North America, here in the UK, we have our Protandim NRF2, which is the activator. We've got NRF1 coming to the UK in the near future. It's not here yet, but it basically helps mobilize and increase and boost the mitochondria. So I always say to people, go Google mitochondria dysfunction, and then you'll go, wow, when can I get my hands on this NRF1? When is it coming to the UK? Because that's a product that works really, really well in boosting our mitochondria. We're also going to have a weight management system here in the UK in the not so distant future. And this is a system devised to either help people achieve their own weight loss goals or maintain their weight loss or their ideal weight. It comes with a fantastic comprehensive booklet that helps people guide them through to achieve that. And also we have an online platform that is policed or governed, I don't know the right word to describe it, by 25 health professionals. These are personal trainers, nutritional therapists, people who've put together the program. So, you can wake up and feel motivated with that group. And then we also have an energy product. I call this product Protandim for the brain, because if you're somebody who at 2 or 3 in the afternoon like to reach for a cappuccino or a coffee or something, then you will absolutely love Axio. I'm looking around my desk to see if I have an Axio. This has stopped me having a double espresso after lunch. Anyway, that's a bit of insight into our products. But what I would absolutely love to do is I'd love to introduce Julie Klein. Julie is a chiropractor. She's been practicing for 14 years up north. She has her own practice, and she's obviously been on Protandim, and it's now something that she recommends to her client base. I want to thank you for coming on, Julie, and I'd love you just to give us a bit of an overview of your professional background. Obviously, tell us how you heard about Protandim, why you started taking it, and why you're now obviously recommending it to your client base.
Hi, thanks Laura, introduction and telling us a little bit about Protandim. I hope you can see me okay. And I just wanted to again thank you everyone for your time to listen to some information about the products. So just a little bit about my background. I've been a chiropractor for 14 years, absolutely love it, and I try and look at my patients' health holistically, so from just the outside in but the inside out, and give them lots of advice about nutrition, how they can help themselves, basically, exercise, the usual thing that therapists do. So in 2014 I had quite a scare. I got cancer. And from then on, I spent my time to get as healthy as possible, looking into nutrition, looking into exercise, supplements that could help me, and I tried quite a few different ones on its own. I found out it was much better with black pepper, and then I was introduced to Protandim by a nutritionalist, and at first I was very, very skeptical, extremely skeptical, but as I read the research and watched the YouTube videos and the ABC Primetime video, I thought, well, I think I'd be quite silly by it, and I wanted to try it before I introduced it to anybody, family, friends and patients. The reason why I loved it was because of the research behind it, but also it's a natural product that most people can take. In fact, the majority of people can take. So the way it helped me, I probably noticed a difference probably within maybe a couple of weeks. People think it helps them straight away. Some people it takes a long time. But the first thing that I realised that it was helping me sleep better. I had more energy generally, and I could think clearer. But when I was getting a bit fitter, I recovered much quicker, and it was able to go running without feeling absolutely crippled afterwards. So I thought, well, this would be a good thing. I wanted to introduce it to my patients, and also I was that impressed to my friends and family. But I'm not a saleswoman by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a chiropractor, and I just want to help people. So, but I believed in the actual product and its effectiveness. And so just during treatments, I started talking to patients, particularly ones with inflammatory issues, things from rheumatoid arthritis, plantar fasciitis, chronic fatigue, ME, Parkinson's, MS, because of the research that has just been done on Protandim, the 22 fantastic studies that are backing all this up. But also from ladies with hot flushes and brain fog. So it was just talking to them whilst treating them. And for most people, it's going to help them and be effective for them. So as a chiropractor, I'm in quite a privileged position to be able to recommend this product. I just asked them to try it for 3 months. If they're unsure about it, I don't push it. I just, maybe talk to a certain other person. They might be able to give you some positive feedback about it. Some people just are as excited as I was, but skeptical. So I point them to the research, and some people just want to try it straight away because of the trust that they have of me. So patient feedback generally is that to recovery from exercise, just like I sleeping better and less pain generally, more energy and generally feeling fitter, and for ladies less hot flushes. I'm still waiting to hear from a couple of people with regards to how it's helped their Parkinson's, which is what I'm excited about. Also, my fibromyalgia chronic fatigue patients, they've generally felt less uncomfortable and are able to live to a better degree of lifestyle, I suppose. So it helps my business because my patients are healthier. As I was saying, I work from the outside in, but it's nice to be able to work from the inside out just as well. And hopefully from the people getting better, that's going to free my time up and allow me to spend more time helping people and the ones that need my care. But what I really like about it is that most people can take it, even the people with celiac, people that have problems, digestive problems generally, and it generally doesn't affect the tummy. But what I really love about LifeVantage and the actual company itself, was privileged to go to the seminar in Orlando and to really find out and get a good feel about the company. And I was very, very impressed. The ethics behind the company and the science behind the product, they are really trying to get as much backup behind this product. And it was great to hear all the positive feedback from other people, friends and patients. Just to repeat, I'm not a saleswoman. I'm a chiropractor through and through. And if this is going to help me help my patients as well, then for it, and it's doing its job. So that's all I really wanted to say, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. I've been just looking. I've written some questions down to ask you, and I think you probably kind of covered all of them as you've gone along, which has been absolutely fantastic. But no, I think it's really interesting. I just heard you mention celiac, and I'm a celiac. I was diagnosed at 8 months of age, and I've looked after myself very well my whole life. I've ate really, really well. But one thing, I used to have terrible energy problems. My husband always said, the 10 o'clock news would come on and he'd wage a bet as to whether I'd make it through because I'd fall asleep on the sofa. I also was a terrible sleeper. I always went to sleep okay, but would wake up in the middle of the night. Now I'm sleeping through the night and waking up so much clearer. So, my own story, I also have peripheral neuropathy, and I always say 95% of the time I'm 95% better, because you still get tinglings from time to time, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was 12 months ago. So it's obviously, and often there's a lot of subtle differences. I have 2 dogs and I walk them every day on a massive big common out here. And it was about May time, I was having a walk with a friend, and I suddenly realized I had hay fever this year. How did I get through hay fever season without hay fever? So, it's often, I think, the thing about Protandim, people always say it's so clever. Well, it's your body that's clever. It's your body that's healing itself. So, couple of things just to tell people. How much does it cost? Well, a bit like Julie recommended, we do recommend people go on it for 3 months. They can buy it as a one-off product, but we do recommend they go on a monthly recurring auto ship, and if they do that, they get it at wholesale, which is £43 a month, so it's just over £1.40 a day, less than a cup of coffee, certainly down in London where I live. And I've got people who are now 9-10 months in keeping that product going because of the changes that they're seeing. The only people who can't take it are people who've had a transplant of some description, purely because if it upregulates everything within your body, we don't want it harming, a new kidney or new eyes or whatever the case might be. So, it's safe for people who are on warfarin and every medication that you can possibly imagine. And as Julie said, it's completely backed by science. Julie, just one question, as a therapist, and I know you said you use the word you're not a salesperson, and I love that about you, because I know that you always talk about, I recommended it to someone today. You never talk about, I sold it to someone today. But how do you see this helping your business or complementing your business long term? Having obviously more patients who are better. How do you see this helping your business long term?
Well, I think that the thing that you just pointed out is that people are feeling even better, and the less times I've got to see a person, and the less money that they have to spend having treatments, then that's the best advertisement for me that I could have, and they will recommend people. But the thing is that it frees my time up to be able to help more people as well. That's all I want from my business. So it just helps so many people, and when I talk about it or think about it personally, I think, okay, so who wants to sleep better? Who do I know that wants more energy? Who do I know that wants less pain? And it's most people. So it's not a hard product to. It helps that many people, and it's got that many benefits that that's the beauty of it. So
absolutely. Well, no, definitely. What I would say to everybody who's watching this live or who will get this as a recording, get back to the person who invited you. We have so many powerful testimonials. And actually, it was the testimonials that did it for me. When I first heard about Protandim, it hadn't come to the UK. So I went to YouTube and I put in YouTube and I put in peripheral neuropathy because that's what I had. And I was really suffering at the time. And I came up with video testimonials of people with peripheral neuropathy because they had diabetes, because they had MS, because they had various different conditions. And since then, we've got a customer page and we've lots of powerful testimonials. And, you know, just on the back of one thing that you said there is I've got a gentleman who I introduced to Protandim last December. He was a former submariner, has suffered from back pain for 20 years. The last 10 years of that was chronic. He runs a contract cleaning business, so has a very physical job. And in his own words, he would cry at night getting into bed because he was in so much pain. I got a message within 4 weeks from him saying, I'm no longer in pain, I've got discomfort. And 6 weeks later, himself and his wife turned up on my doorstep with flowers saying, I'm pain free. And he has continued to be pain free. But here's what I'll tell you about this man, Bill Bailey, is he has recommended 8 or 9 people to me in the last 12 months. So those are people who don't necessarily live where I live in Balham, wouldn't have come to me if it wasn't from him. So as therapists, you're going to free up your time to treat more people, but you will get those referrals. You get people who, when you're changing people's lives, when you're changing how people feel about themselves, they'll be in touch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap up. We're going to stay live on the line so you can ask questions, but I'm going to end the recording. What I would say to you is if you want to know more about how you can become a distributor of LifeVantage, we do distribute through a direct selling model, which means that you can become a distributor. You can get your hands on like a mini franchise. That system is backed up with full training and full support, so you can find out how you can get this product out to not just your clients but your friends and your family, and you can share it with lots of other people. That's not what this recording is about. This is really very much about the product and sharing it with therapists so they can get an idea of them. But we do have a full business webinar that explains the business in a lot more detail, and if you want that, shout and we can get a recording to you. So I want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, I'm going to stop recording, but we'll stay on the line. Thank you very much everybody for being with us, and a massive thank you to you, Julie. I love hearing you talk about this because I know you're very passionate about your clients and you're very passionate about helping them get results. So thank you.
Thank you.